Staci Layne Wilson here for TV Wire. We are talking to the Doors, Ray Manzarek, Robby Krieger, John Densmore, and director Tom DiCillo about the new documentary, When You're Strange. Check out our interviews.
Name? Robby Krieger. Age? 22 years old. Occupation? Guitar. Name?
John Densmore.
Age?
23.
Occupation?
Percussionist.
Name?
Raymond Daniel Manzarek.
Age?
Born 2/12/39.
Occupation?
Musician, organist.
Name?
Jim.
Occupation?
Ray Manzarek, Robby Krieger of the Doors. It has evolved into a deeper, more meaningful, more masculine, manly kind of thing.
I like it.
In which we were sort of brothers together, like men together.
If the doors of perception were cleansed, everything would appear to man as it is. Infinite.
Johnny was brought on board. He was my first choice as a narrator. I knew, since the film is so dependent upon the narration, that the narration needed to be done well. It needed to be done in a way that the audience believed, that whoever was saying these words believed them. And Depp brings this amazing intelligence, this intimacy, an emotion, a real connection to the band and to Jim.
To John, it's like they're back in the garage. Back to the four of them, just playing music. It's John's idea to slow down the middle of L.A. Woman. Jim comes up with a phrase he wants to repeat over and over. After they record it, Jim scribbles something on a piece of paper and shows it to the group.
When You're Strange is a true documentary, you know, in that it's all film taken from the period of '66 through '71. You know, there's no new footage, there's no actors playing Jim Morrison. And that's what a documentary should be.
How is it different from some other documentaries that are out now? You know, whatever. It's different because of my sensibility. It's different because of the, you know, the intensity of this subject matter, the contribution that this band made on world music, you know. But specifically, it's different in that it only uses original footage, and it forces and allows the audience to experience this band from beginning to end, and they never grow old in this film. They don't. Now, there's nothing wrong.
My hair's darker in the.
There's nothing wrong with that.
When you're unwanted, streets are uneven. When you're down, when you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange.
Polish that stuff up. Paul Ferrara, our buddy from UCLA, was our cameraman, shot all the footage for the most part that you'll see in When You're Strange. And we hired Paul right after Light My Fire. We made some money and said, "Look, now you can go to work for us and let's go on the road and just hang around and just shoot whatever you can." And he went out with Jim to shoot 10 minutes of an idea that Jim had for a feature film. So they shot it in 35 millimeter. And that's why the 35 millimeter buffed and polished looks so good. So it can't be the real Jim Morrison, or is it? Or is it?
Right, the highway footage was an accidental find. I did not know originally that it was Jim's film. I thought it was just shots of Jim walking through the desert. And I'm glad I didn't know that, because if I had known it, I probably wouldn't have had the idea to incorporate it as like a motif throughout the film, as if it's the spirit of Morrison kind of wandering through the film, searching for the meaning of it, searching for everything.
There is this 15-minute film, Highway, which eventually probably will come out just as is. But we have, what, 5, 10 minutes? 5?
Probably, and only outtakes. I only used outtakes. No edited sequences from his film.
But there's this this footage belongs in there. It's magic.
If the doors of perception were cleansed, everything would appear to man as it is, infinite.
These days, you have to be a politician or an assassin or something to really be a superstar.
I had this idea of a couple poems that he could read that were not in the film that kind of had to do with celebrity and what that's like. And so I sent him an email saying, gosh, would you consider reading some stuff that, it's not in the film, Jim's stuff, and the soundtrack would just become a great thing in its own. And he bit. And he did a whole bunch more. So the soundtrack is pretty magical.
Rock music fans all over the world are in mourning today. Jim Morrison, lead singer of the Doors, was found dead in his Paris apartment this morning. Morrison was 27 years old. Goodbye, Jim.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Doors.